I'm going to talk about a subject I've been kind of avoiding since I started making some video too. And I've been noticing a lot of other bigger channels or any of the other gun channels, the big debate about gun safety. It's almost like a taboo word. So I've been kind of staying out of it, but after what happened and what I've seen this weekend at the range, I just felt compelled to just ask a simple question, everybody. So how important is gun safety? What do you feel about gun safety? As an experienced shooter, I don't know everything there is to know about guns by no means, and by no means am I an expert. But gun safety needs to be the number one concern to all of us. People call other people on YouTube safety salies, and which I can see their point too. But as an experienced shooter, every time that you go on camera, we all know that we clear our guns before we do the video. But I think we all need to do it for the people who are just starting to get into this hobby. You have to show them that every time, no matter what, you need to clear your weapon. It's just it should be a basic rule of thumb. The guy who taught me most about guns, he said it best. I told him, I said, well, you preach gun safety. And he told me, I don't preach gun safety, I preach common sense. I went to the range this weekend, and I had a malfunction due to one of my cases, I think, kind of overpressure and lodged in the barrel. Ultimately, it's my fault for not keeping track or really seeing it before it happened. So complacency. I take all the precautions in the world, but complacency, it overrides some things sometimes. So as soon as we walk up to the range, the first thing I'm informed by a range officer is the week before we got there, a girl shot herself in the arm at that particular range. A piece of brass went down her shirt, and she reached with the gun in her hand, tried to pull it out, pulled the trigger, and shot herself. I was shooting in the exact same stall where this happened a week later. Thank God nobody was to the right of her, or she probably would have killed that person too. So after shooting for a little while and finding this information out, a young couple brings their 8-year-old son to the range. And while he's trying to show his 8-year-old son about how to shoot, I watched him laser his son with the gun 3 times and told him all 3 times. Where was the range officer? He should have been there telling him the same thing I was. So again, how important is gun safety? So shortly after we were informed about the accident that happened the week before, a couple comes up with their 8-year-old son. And she explains to me that it's her first time going, and he's been taking the son about 6 or 7 times previous to that. So they set everything up in the stall next to us, and I'm watching them. And not once did he even try to explain to his wife anything about safety. The woman has never been shooting before. I have no idea if she's ever even handled a gun. He loads this gun for her, puts it in her hand, tells her to pull the trigger. Where is the common sense? Where's the gun safety? You have to educate people. All of us do, as experienced shooters. We have to educate everybody. That's the number one thing in the sport. If you want to enjoy the sport, we have to be safe in the sport. And we have to show everybody that we're all safe in this sport. So the range I shoot at, it's an outdoor range, and you have to physically go down range and set up your targets. So as a lot of you guys know, they come over the loudspeaker and they tell everybody 2 minutes until ceasefire, finish up the rounds in your magazines, open chambers, lay them down, step behind the yellow line. So the woman and her husband and the child and their son, they're packing up and getting ready to leave. So I cleared my gun, and I'm explaining to her behind the yellow line, just giving her some hints on safety and trying to just educate her a little bit more. Her husband wanted to grab the targets off downrange to bring home for a souvenir. So him and 5 other people think that it's a cold range now and walk out into the range. 5 stalls up, they're still shooting rifles down there. So they're going to change their targets out on a hot range. I can't make this shit up. It really happened. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. How does that happen? Where were the range officers? I don't understand. I don't know. I don't understand how people, all of us, anybody can get that complacent, knowing that things that we're playing with could kill you and people around you, and they do things like that. And their excuse was they thought it was a cold range. If they had any doubt, they should have asked. If I would have seen them, I would have told them. But my back was to them, trying to explain to this lady about safety, and I didn't see a range officer within 10 stalls of me. So how important is gun safety? I think pretty damn important. People can call me what they want. Safety Sally, whatever they want to call me. But I think it's time I start preaching some common sense. Thanks for watching.